Good morning, everyone. Today is February the 8th. It is a Thursday. It's also supposed to be called Pitbull Thursday, which is, I just read something about that. It's pretty interesting. But the Pitbull Day is a Thursday, the week before expiration, and it has a tendency to be a down day, but it seems to work better on the FTSE, that's the European Stock Exchange, than in the SPX. And apparently it's from a book called Pitbull. So there we go. But that's a new piece of information that I thought I would share this morning that I just learned myself. So what do we have? We have neutral to bullish states. Notice we're in the yellow of neutral to bullish instead of the pale green. And it is for two reasons. One, we are below the prior day's close. That's number one. And two, we have negative momentum. All right. We are at a support zone. We are sitting at the VWAP. We are sitting at the 21 exponential moving average. All of our pricing has compressed. All of our VWAP bands are very tight. That usually gives us an explosion into one direction or the next. Look for the pre-market low. That might come at the jobs number. I don't know. It's going to be here in a few minutes. And we'll go from there. Remember, you want to look for a failed retest. The first sharp dips down are going to find buyers, but that might be very thin if the number says something that the market doesn't expect or does not like. So I want you to be careful today. All right. Our best bet positionings really would be if we had a nice fade, but the dips keep getting bought. Every range expansion says buy the dip. So you want to look for the lower edges of red to position your buys and the upper edges of green to take profit. Now, you could position sells there, but you would be against the current. Just want to make sure that you know that. Levels are noted. Same sort of thing going on here. Let's pull this up so you can see what they are. We have a little bit more range expansion. We are under the VWAP, under the prior day's close. That's why this is yellow. It's a cautionary tone that says, hey, watch that support edge. We're coming into the lows of the pre-market before the jobs number. Could be a bounce, but remember, choose the lower edges of the volatility bands to pick up your buys, right? If they've tested it and they haven't head lower, but begin to bounce higher, just look for a positive retest to tell you you're in the right side of the trade. All right. Right now, we're sitting on the edges of the first standard deviation. And again, pullbacks are buy zones. So you want to be very careful with that. I have noted the levels on the chart themselves. So you really want to pay attention to that in general. All right. Here's the ES, neutral to bullish. Let's move this here so it doesn't go all the way onto the other side. Right? Why is it neutral to bullish? Again, below the close of the prior day and below the VWAP band and negative momentum. A lot of things saying, listen, we might digest this move today. We might just go from support to resistance, back to support, back to resistance. Jobs number today could be something. Remember, if we break the low of congestion, right? Here's that congestion low. This blue dashed line is the day before. VWAP, right? And so it's coming into that line and saying, you know what, I'm probably going to try to buy there. If it buys and you can't get over the current measure of the VWAP, you know that there's a problem. Prior day's close, 50, 15, 50. Let's go to the NQ. I know I'm running kind of fast. Today, of course, you can see me on the Benzinga Pro platform. You can see me on Topstep TV. I am on Topstep TV today on YouTube. And of course, you can see me on the Place Your Trades Discord, as well as our private channels that we have for members from the trading book, which we're not taking any new members right now, but there you have it. Okay, so what do we have going on with the Qs? Coming into that VWAP area should be a little bit of a buy zone. Today could end up being something that just continues to run down. Risk might be a little higher. In this intraday formation, anytime you are under the VWAP, under the moving averages, and you have negative momentum, it tells you that the bounces are going to be sell zones in a broader bullish market. So you want to be very, very careful. 800 is a big support zone there. So I would expect them to do a little bit of something, right? Watch those levels. Take a peek at them. Make sure that you say, all right, what are my candlesticks doing? Remember, I've talked about this a ton. Look at your 3 candlesticks in motion and say, where am I relative to what the prior prices of the last 2 candlesticks were? That's going to tell you what the near-term traders are trying to do. You know, I talked about round numbers yesterday. This is a round number. They're going to try and bounce. Okay, let's look at oil. Oil is pretty interesting. All right. Oil, where is my note? Well, there we go. Let's put it right there. Oil is quite bullish. It's breaking away. So is the dollar today. But oil is also coming into a resistance zone that it's had for quite some time. That resistance zone is around and about 75. Okay. Look at how it's walking the band. It is trending with the band. Sometimes people say walking the band. Why? Yeah, trending with the band. And so what do we want to look for? We want to look for it to step away from the band into resistance. Now it came almost up into 75, so I would take that as a near-term short. But because it's so bullish, folks, the first line in the sand is going to be the edge of one of these 2 candlesticks, right? That's how we work this process out. Am I heading higher? Yes, I did. So the first pullback into support is going to meet what? Buyers. Okay, we don't have any specific news today. We've got nat gas, but neither here nor there for that one in general. All right, let me double check on what we have going on today. Today's February the 8th. We have the jobless claims in 5 minutes. We have Thomas Barkin speaking twice. Mercy. These guys always auditioning for their next position. Okay, EIA gas. Yeah, not much going on today. Okay, so all that said, good luck. Let's see. Gold is in the 3 contract. This one's in a range, so because the dollar is spiking, we expect this one to roll off, but it's hitting the VWAP lines from several days past, so you want to see what it does. Right around this zone could easily be a buy zone, but it needs to step away from the band. And remember, if it begins to bounce, because it's under negative trend, it's going to walk into the edges of the candlesticks before it, either this one or this one, at which point more sellers will come in. So my thought is, be quick or be dead in gold. All right? Okay, everyone, that's it. I'll see you on the platforms. Take care.